Hey, Brad, thank you so much for joining us today to tell us a bit about your business, Chunk Nibbles, which makes me smile every time I say it. I don't know why, but it's a very clever name. So tell us a bit about your business and what Chunk Nibbles is.
So Chunk Nibbles itself is the original recipe, which really was what only the product what is pretzels, peanuts, walnuts, corn checks, all bound together with a light coating. So it forms a delicate but addicting combination of salty and sweet. It's one of those products where you actually have to put measured space in between you and the bag in order to stop eating it once you've started. I've grown up eating it my entire life. It was something that my grandma had made and then obviously passed down to my mom, and we'd always have it in the bowl on the kitchen table, like in sort of accompanying Christmas cookies and stuff like that. And it was nicknamed Christmas Crack, and for due reason. And it worked out really well, where my mom would make cookie tins where I would take to teachers as holiday gifts, end of the year. My dad would take 300 cookie tins to his customers. He works in the automotive industry, big surprise here in Detroit. And people would chase him down being like, this is so good, where can I get more of this? And he's like, sorry, can't happen, not till next year. Exactly. So it was something that was, I thought was very basic, but also I never really saw anybody else ever have it. We really get a lot of people that associate it with puppy chow or white trash, reindeer snacks, Santa food. Like there's all these different names for it. And when we do a spot at Eastern Market, people would always be like, my grandma used to make something like this, or my mom always made this. So the recipe in itself really brings back a lot of nostalgia for people, a lot of warm family feelings. So we're really pushing that's who it should be enjoyed with.
I love it. So it's an old family recipe, something that's been enjoyed probably for a couple generations, if not more. And you decided to turn that into a business. So tell us about that leap, right? You're probably sitting around one day and enjoying that at a holiday gathering with your family and thought, I'm going to turn this into a business.
So I was working for a company that's actually based out of Farmington Hills called Burns and Wilcox, which is associated with Coffin Financial Group. And everything was going really well. I was dating a girl who I had known from Michigan State, and we were both working at the same company, and everything really was going well. But I started having the itch to do something for myself. I kept exceeding my sales goals, but I kept, everyone would be like, congratulations, that's awesome. 20% more next year. And you get this. And I'm like, man, I've been working so hard this year. How am I going to, without just sleeping less, how do I do that much more? And so I was like, maybe I should start looking at possibly, if I'm going to work this hard for somebody else, I'm coming in on weekends, I'm working 16-hour days, maybe I could do something for myself. So I started to kind of look around and think about what I could possibly do. And Chunk Nibbles was something that was proprietary, I thought, to my family. And so I was like, I came home and I talked it over with my girlfriend, and we sort of came into agreement on it. And then I came home and I was talking to my parents over dinner. I was like, by the way, I'm about to quit my job, move home, and start making Chunk Nibbles commercially.
Sell Christmas candy, yeah.
Right. And they were like, what? No, they thought I was kidding. It was like a joke, and they laughed it off. And I go, no, I'm completely serious. We're both quitting, and we're coming home, and we're going to do this. And my mom immediately looks at my wife and goes are you serious? Are you okay with this? Checking the box.
One of you keep health insurance? What do you think?
Yeah. So it worked out really well. I pulled all the money from my 401k, moved home, sold the car I had, bought a Ford Transit, and we started hitting the ground running.
That's awesome. I love it. And tell us where you're at today, where your business, where we can find your product and how it's going.
Yeah, so we actually have just opened, where our doors are just about to hit 300 different locations. We've brought on a couple, locally you can find us at all Great Lakes Ace hardware locations. We are at a lot of the gourmet type markets around town, from Holiday, Woodward Corners, Papa Joe's, Vincent Joe's, Nino's, Randazzo's, all those great places. And we're looking to break into more of the Meyer and Kroger big box type grocery stores next year. And right now, right now we're just cranking. It's very busy. This year has been not that I'm 10 years in and can benchmark it off anything else. So I'm just kind of rolling with the punches as they come. But this year has had a lot of highs and lows. We had targeted doing a lot of trade shows and really trying to get our brand out there, because like everybody else, like on the radio or anything else, everyone's like, what the heck are chunk nibbles? And I'll be driving down the street in my van, and we have big magnets on the side, and I'll be at a light and I can see someone across the way, like, mouth it, go, what is chunk nibble? It is one of those names where people are like, is that a dog food? Is that like nibbles, kibbles? And then we obviously have our partner charity. So sometimes that can get a little confusing for people as well.
Makes sense. You referenced that it's not like you've been doing this for 10 years. How long have you been in business?
So we moved back in May of 2018. So we had our first sale, which is at the Paint Creek Cider Mill in Rochester. That was our first sale in October of 2018. So, awesome. This year, pretty much October of this year was pretty much our 2-year mark.
I love it. So we can check out our local gourmet markets. You're in the Great Lakes Ace Hardware stores. I also visited your website, and I see I can buy direct online. And I can do that and have that shipped right to my house, correct?
Absolutely.
I love it. And the website is chunknibbles.com. Careful to spell it correctly. You don't end up in the wrong place. And thank you so much. I love your story, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit that you saw an opportunity to bring a bit of joy to people, and you acted on that. And honestly, this is it. When you're selling nostalgia, it's a winner every time, right? And it's a great treat, especially during this holiday season. So get onto chunknibbles.com or visit your local retailer and find it there on their shelves. Thanks so much, Brad.
Thanks, Jim.
Great to meet with you.